Hi, it's me, Ariel. I don't know why I'm disarmed by my own greeting all the time. But anyway, I definitely had some stuff to talk about today. And I think the first thing is like, wow, I'm filming 2 days in a row. Cool. Um, anyway, what did I want to talk about? Right now it's 2:22 on the clock. So that's awesome. Not the topic that I wanted to discuss on the video, but for me, 222 probably holds different meanings for different people. For me, I see the numbers 2, 4, and 8 as like steps on my abundance journey. So if I see 222 on the clock, to me that means whatever I'm doing in this moment. If I happen to glance and it's that time, it means I'm doing the right thing. I'm on the right path. So thank you everybody for being here for that. What I really wanted to talk about today was this kind of like Pepper. Sorry, that's my dog. This kind of okay, for those of you who don't know, and you probably don't because I don't think I've come out and said it on camera before, but I'm struggling with my mental health. Don't worry, I have resources, whatever. But I guess I want to say that I've probably been struggling with my mental health for a long time. More like way before there was any signs or symptoms that I might be struggling to like the outside observer. Um, I'm the oldest daughter. My mom was really young when she had me. I have a younger sister. And there was a lot of there's a lot of emotional responsibility that I carried. There's a lot of childhood trauma. There's just a lot. Um, but I just like I relate so hard to Disney movies, firstly, but secondly to specifically the movie Encanto, like the strong sister. She's like, "Oh yeah, don't worry, she's got it. She's got everything." And I think the funny thing is sometimes people could like look at you and they could be like, "Wow, that person is like really handling their business." You know what I mean? They look like they're focused. They know what they're doing. They're taking on a lot of responsibility. They're succeeding in XYZ categories. But that's just not the truth of how things are on the inside sometimes. Um, so this past year in particular, I had like, I think the rare chance to decompress. And I fell deep, deep into a depression. Um, Pretty much all that stuff that had been stacking up inside of me, it just all came out. I had some like big T traumas happen a couple years before I got out of the military. I'm not really talking about that yet. But I just want to say, like, I had a hard year, a hard, isolated year, definitely dark night / year of the soul. Um, I wouldn't be recording this video if I didn't think things were like moving on the up and up. But things are still hard. So like even if you're not in your house and you stop responding to people and people get worried and then they send somebody to come over here, like even if that's like not the case and you're doing better, you're like sticking to a schedule, you're leaving your house once a day, like you're doing exercise, you're eating, like fucking cheers, like you're doing normal stuff. Um it doesn't mean like everything's all good. Even if it's better, like it's just like these highs and low points that I want to talk about. And I want to say, like, from an insider's perspective, if you're watching this video, it's possibly because you can relate. But from an insider's perspective, it's frustrating because you just want to be better. And I'm like the kind of person like that doesn't give up. And I always will take like just the worst situation and I will try to turn it into something good, like no matter what. Like I have to. That is how I survive, is by making what is not good like better. Um, And it's a lot of pressure. It's just a lot of self-imposed pressure. There was a lot of external pressure at one point. But I just want to say, like, if you're coming out of a hard year, like a dark time, and you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to get out of that, like, depression, first off, I feel you. Just want to say that. And thank you for being here. But secondly, like, I just keep having this image in my mind because I'm going to be honest with you. Lately, sometimes I'm throwing off some, like, hard manic energy. Like, I'm bouncing around, I'm doing creative projects, like, I'm doing everything. I'm socializing or not. You know, just, but people, whoever I do interact with is like, oh, this person's, like, very high energy. And it's like, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what I am. Because I've cycled between the anxiety and depression loop for so long, like, I'm still waiting for it to stabilize. I don't really know what that happy medium is yet. You know, what is cruising altitude? I'm really not sure. And that's honestly frustrating because I think what's been happening to me over the past, I want to say 2 months, is I got out of my major depression, right? I had some kind of inspiration. I call it a spiritual awakening. Had some insights, some major, like, 1 + 1 = 2 moment. And I was like, okay, I think I can kind of see a reason for things the way they happened. I'm not happy about it. I'm still fucking pissed, honestly. Still pissed because I'm still struggling. But I'm starting to see something. Like, I could just remember it was almost like a visceral feeling where I want to describe it as like a breeze. Like, there was just like a waft of something where I was like in such a dark place, like there was no hope, totally forgot what joy felt like. And then there was just this very brief, like, whoosh, and I was like, wait a second, like, what is that? Is that hope? You know what I mean? And this happened a couple times, like, leading up to kind of a more powerful spiritual awakening. Thinking about it now, like, I'm like, oh, I wonder if that was like my future self sending like messages to my past self to try to encourage me. And now that I'm doing a little bit better, like, I actually do try to do that. If I'm in a good place, I like to meditate on the person I was over the summer, and I send her that love, and I'm like, maybe that's what I was feeling then, is the stuff that I do in the present moment right now. But anyway, like, it feels jarring sometimes, or it might look kind of crazy on the outside to just see these like very high energy and like low energy dips, and it's like up and down, like it's not regulating. I know my family gets really concerned, and I'm trying to be like, okay, look, you guys, like, you know, when you have a car or truck or whatever, and your tires are stuck in the mud, and you've just been stuck in the mud, and you're trying to get out of the mud, and you're just gassing it, and you're gassing it, and you're gassing it, and you're giving it everything you've got because you're like, I am not going to be in the mud anymore. So sometimes that looks crazy because your tires are spinning and you're generating like all of this energy because you don't want to be in the mud anymore. And that's kind of like the mania. Like, that is like, I'm refusing to fall back into like old patterns, you know? And you kind of have this opposite end, which is not like super great, but I think for people who struggle with bipolar, I'm not saying that I do, never been diagnosed, I think it would be inaccurate. I know that they love the manic episodes because they're like, at least I'm not like in the depression, you know what I mean? And I think for people who have trauma, like, it manifests the same way. And so this message is just really for anybody who might be dealing with that feeling of, oh, I can't stabilize my energy because I'm like gassing it. And then like, if you're a little bit manic or a little bit anxious, like maybe you can't even stop moving throughout the day. And then you get sick, and then it's like forced rest. Like maybe you slip a little bit back into like your depressive habits or whatever. But I just wanted to give a voice to that frustration. It's uncomfortable. And I feel it. And I'm there with you. maybe don't put so much pressure on yourself. Maybe just like take a moment to congratulate yourself for like how far you've come. And I know it's frustrating because you just want to be so far away from the dark time in your life. You just want to be like in your next chapter where this was just like a memory. But you will get there eventually. There's just a couple things you got to figure out. Like, you're always learning, you know what I mean? Like, in these rough patches, you're learning, you're trying to figure out what is working for you. What is working for your schedule? What is working for your diet? What is working for the amount of time you can spend on social media or social activities? Or who are the people that I can be around? You know, you're just figuring it all out for the first time. I do believe in past lives, so it might not be your first time living life, but you came here and you forgot everything and you're relearning. And I just want you to feel good about that for a moment. All right, I think that's all I have for today. I'm going to try to figure out a title that fits with whatever this motivational speech was, to try to find the people that need it the most in this moment. All right, I love you.